This game is rated 18 plus. Hello, welcome to another video on the channel. It's GHOSTDRIFTX, aka Ghost. We are in the division number 1. I actually have part 2 as well, so I'll be jumping between the two different versions as I play. I play part 1 on the Xbox, play part 2 on the PC. I wish I would have been able to put it on the PC, but you can't migrate accounts. Seems like a lot of the games I'm playing, they won't let you migrate accounts between different platforms. Not sure why, but I mean, I know why, but they give you an excuse, but I'm pretty sure they can get around it if they really wanted to. In this one, I'm going to do Precinct Siege. This is the first mission I believe you do before you can go to the other zone. And, you know, we need to clear the parking lot. Of course, the one thing I did have issues with was the aiming, trying to get my gun to aim better. It does better now, but just felt like it was like just slightly off. I'm not sure, so I'll get a couple in, and then two, I take a lot of damage quickly. I still do it. I didn't realize how the build setup works, but I usually focus more on my damage than my actual armor and health. I might could do a balanced build, but I usually like damage more than anything. So I tend to die quite a bit if I'm not paying attention, or if I get flanked, because these people will flank you. Or if I run up on somebody who has a lot of armor and I didn't realize it, then yeah, that can turn into a bad situation quickly as well. Here we are, just trying to move around. Now, one thing I did realize as I've been playing actually 1 and 2, it's best to try to move around quickly. If you're just doing a small group, then yeah, you probably can stay in one spot, not too much. But when you're playing against multiple targets, you really need to kind of move around, because if they get locked in on you, they're gonna try to flank you. They will try to, you know, they're gonna try and ping you in, and then if they're throwing stuff at you, it makes you worse. So in the beginning stages, not too bad. Usually not. They're not throwing too much, so, and their aim is not that great, although you can take a lot of damage off of getting hit. So most of my encounters, if I can, I will look for an elevated position if possible. That seems to work out for me pretty good if I can find that. They can still throw stuff up there at me, right? But as long as I'm in an elevated position, I can kind of see more of the area that I'm fighting in, and I can usually tell where targets are moving. They're getting in close. When I'm on the ground, I may not always see that, and depending on the situation, you know, you won't always get that, of course. You know, if you're in a building or something like that, of course, you may not be able to get the high ground. Usually high ground is only on the inside. Now, every once in a while, since I've been playing certain locations, I think like a hotel or something like that, you might get an elevated position. But for the most part, your elevated positions are going to be outside. Now the runners, I guess that's what I refer to them as, the runners with the bats. Anybody's coming with your bat. Part 2 has more women with grenades. So, well, not grenades, but they basically take some green powder or something, and you don't want them to get close to you, because A, they can take you out like these guys, but on top of that, if you shoot them and they get too close, the gas that they just took will blow up, and that stuff will mess you up. Now, it won't take you out, but it will disorient you pretty good. So I try to keep them away from me whenever possible. I don't like to get in close with them. My man right here celebrating. Mission ain't over, man. I don't know what's up with that. So here we are. Now I did notice in part 2, I don't think you can switch the type of grenades you have. You can let me know in the comments. I'm at level 30, and I don't think I've done it before. I think I just had the regular grenades, but in here you had different type of grenades you could switch to. So see my man there, I need to get out of that, of course. Just trying to make my way. So I tend to I back up a lot. I don't like, if I get in too close and I notice they're just running up on me and I'm not really taking them down quickly, I usually back up, because it's gonna give me more room, especially when you get those kind of, I don't know what you want to call them. I guess we would call them a tank, but the really heavily armored people, those people, you don't really want to stay too close to them. They have a really high-powered weapon, or they have some strong gear, or if they're yellow, Yellow targets do not stand out in front like I'm doing right here. You want to be behind cover as much as possible. 1 to 2 shots can take you out with them. My armor's already a bit toasty here. So I'm still trying to clear this area to get into the garage. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good here. So now we're going to move upstairs. And okay, so I believe I got a hostage situation here. Have enemies that have hostages in the jail, so I'm trying to find the best way to get into them. I think I did die once or twice coming in here. Now they don't aim as well as at lower levels. When you start getting higher levels, you know, their aim's pretty good. So right here, when I take on these two, he basically walked out. Wasn't expecting that. So now I want to say if you play, I think it's part 2. Part 1 doesn't have, but part 2. See how they just kind of like, So that's just because this is low level. They don't do that. It's not normal, man. But when you play part 2, I believe they show little exclamation points over their head. When you see that, they're going to usually come after you. It's not where you can just kind of sneak around. They're going to come for you at some point pretty quickly. So if you walk in the room and see exclamation points, just go ahead and get yourself covered. Don't just think you're going to sneak around, because now they know they're usually aware that something's happened, so they're looking for you. So here we are, moved up to the next level. So that would have been the basement, I guess you could say, of the precinct. Well, not the basement, but that's where the jail cells or the holding area would have been. So now we're upstairs where, you know, the office area is at. Just trying to get these people cleared out of here. Now, I will say the higher you get up, the better your assistance seems to be. But I would say part 2, your assistance is a lot better. Part 1, your assistance is not really assistance. I mean, they're okay, man. They're okay, just not the best. Let's just say they're not the best. So here come my runner. And I realized this after a while. Just don't, make sure you get them. Don't stand there trying to shoot them. If they get in too close, back up, man. That's what I do. Now, if your health is low, you might take a chance of getting popped. That's all you can, that's pretty much all you have. That's the only option you have. Trying to get good with making sure when I take a shot to back up to cover. You know, don't just stay out of cover without, just for no reason, right? So here we are moving up to the top. This is the actual roof. And now we're going to take out the boss, you know, looking for the boss. Got a helicopter. So I hear helicopters all the time. I barely see them though. And there's one mission where I was a little irritated. It's like, okay, you bring in a helicopter, but you leave me. I'm like, how does that work? Anyway, I still had some work to do, so you know, it was justified. Maybe not as much as I wanted to be justified, but you know, it was justified. So I'll give them that. So I think this is the police MP4. I could be wrong. I think this is the one you start out with, or the one that I start out with. But most of the weapons that I use as I move forward, I try and get the high rate of fire ones. Those seem to work pretty well for me. And that air, as long as you see that little smoke in air, don't walk through that stuff. It will mess you up. I've done that before. Get out of here. So I didn't make it out of that one. But we made it to the point where you need to take out the boss, right? So we got that part out the way. Let's move, man. Sometimes, yeah, there you go. Sometimes I think I'm running, but I'm really not. I'm just kind of walking fast. Like, dude, run, run. So here we are, just trying to get my shot lined up. I will say later on, this does pay off because you will start running out of ammo depending on what you're dealing with. Here we are, just trying to clear them out, man. Just try our best to clear them out. Like I said, the people, they do, it seems like what you have to do first is if they have a lot of armor, you need to take out their armor as much as you can on like if they're yellow or purple. See, they almost got me on that. That was a nice little move. That was a nice little move. Let me back up, man. That was a nice little move. That hurt pretty good.
If they're yellow or purple, see, they almost got me on that. That was nice little move.
Oh. Get behind cover, baby. Get behind cover. Try to push me back out there, man. Come on, son. Alright, so that's a bomber. Get them out of here. Alright, they're out. Well, grenades. I mean, come on, man. You. I think they're trying to sabotage me, man. They keep pushing me out there. I guess they're like, hey, look, if you're not gonna go out here, we're gonna use you as a shield. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Alright, as you can see, I really can't take much. I can't take many hits, man. I just gotta be real careful. Those hits will take me out quick. So I'm trying to stay behind this cover, man. Trying to keep my cover with me. Trying to keep aimed up. Here we go. Now this one, yellow. I think I put an Instagram out with a, see, look at that. One shot and I'm almost, yeah, it took out. That's not good. Two. So yeah, when they're yellow, just, yeah. And I think like tan and the new one, they're more of a tan color. So you got yellow, tan, and purple. If they had a little blocks above their bar, you know they have actual armor too. Look at that. Now that one just got a good shot on me, that one. He got a good shot on me. Here we go. Okay, so because I broke the armor, the assistant group with me seemed to actually do more damage. But if I don't break the armor, yeah, it might be a minute. So I like this. You know, the mission's technically over, but it's not, which is kind of cool. You know, some games once you finish off the boss, everybody just disappears. On this one, it's like but they do take more damage. You know, they seem to take more damage. So here we are trying to finish this up. I'm about to jump off. Now the one thing I wish you did have was rope to climb buildings. You didn't have to wait on these things. But of course, you know, you want to keep people going a certain direction. That's the only thing I think of. Because if they added where you can climb up buildings and stuff, that would be so much fun. You know, you get, because even on the little preview, they show the person with the rope. But the only way you're going to use rope is come down a building that's already set up or go up a building that's already set up. So it's cool, man, but I think that's something they kind of dropped the ball on. You know, they could have given us a different way to climb up stuff just as we wanted to, which would have been a lot more fun. A lot more fun. Alright, so what's up here, man? Oh, yeah, I don't know what she's saying. I turned the sound off, man. You know, my channel, I try to keep these as clean as I can. I know they shooting in here, so I'll try and put the rating, or I did put the rating at the beginning of this. But other than that, you know, at least I can cut down on the words. Is this Osprey? Is that what it's called? Osprey? I don't know. I think it's what it's called. I could be wrong. Yes, sir. So they still have fuel, man. So all these cars. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. And as always, choose like over death.